Hey guys, it's your girl Mo, and I'm back with another trials video for this week's Search Containers in the Swamp. Now, I took the liberty and did some experimenting so that you don't have to, and I'm here to show you what areas count versus do not count for the swamp. Now, I'm going to start this video with a map of the route that I ran for this 16,000 point score. And I'm going to put a second map at the end of the video that shows overall outlines of what counts as swamp. And I also included some notes on there that hopefully will help out. I'm going to condense this video to show a few areas that you may not realize count. For example, everyone can pretty much guess that the domes count, but there are some unexpected areas that do count towards your point, so don't miss out on those. Starting out with this locker room that's up at the top near pipeline towers, these lockers in this room definitely count. There's also a little overhanging building outside of the back here that you can see, and things in and around this building also count towards your points. There are multiple dilapidated buildings north of the domes. These are kind of scattered between Ruby Residence and the generator hall. All of these searchables count. As you're making your route, make sure you're also looking out for car hoods, which help count towards your points. A lot of these can be found on the road that runs by Ruby Residence all the way to Pell Apartments. Another really surprising place that works towards this trial is actually Ben Welder's sunroof. All of the breachables out front and inside of the building work towards your points. Also, don't forget out the back side, a lot of times there's a handful of Rocketeer husk, which also count. Any wasp husks that are in this area, specifically near that hatch, be on the lookout for those too. Speaking of Pell Apartments earlier, Pell Apartments breachables and searchables count also towards this trial. I'm not really sure why this is considered swamp. I'm not complaining. That's totally fine that it does. Ruby Residence for me did not count. Those red apartments were a no-go, but Pell Apartments did. So the kitchen cabinets, any of the searchables, the cars that are around the outside of the building were counting for me. So hopefully that means they're going to also count for you. While you're running around the swamp outpost searching all of those Rocketeer husks, make sure you don't forget this little rogue place that's kind of off to the west. Check that out. A lot of times there's at least a searchable or two over there. The last place that I want to make sure you don't miss is actually by this hatch that everyone uses for the matriarch. This building with lockers counts. Every single one of these lockers, there's a couple wasp husks around the outside of the building. There's also some breachables and searchables kind of outside. Some of those cars that have hoods, but this is an area that I didn't expect to count for swamp that does. So make sure you don't miss out on this area. I really hope that these tips help and show you some surprising areas you didn't know. Like I said, this was the route I ran to get a score of 16,800 points for this trial. Hopefully so that you don't miss anything in the future when you make a run. All right, as promised, here is an overall map of what areas count with a couple notes. Don't forget that pre-existing husks that are on the ground definitely count. So those Rocketeer husks, those wasp husks, make sure you are checking those out. And overall, hopefully this helps you with this trial. I wish everybody the best of luck.